Huh? Where'd you guys go, Haley?
Tim, you're awake now?
Yeah, I just woke up.
I told you we'd be leaving you there while we left. Today's the day I'm taking Joshua to the gaming event downtown.
I'm sorry. If you'd woken me up sooner, I could've come too.
I sure did wake you up earlier, though. But when I did that, you told me to take him instead.
Seriously? I don't remember telling you to take him, though. Perhaps I drank a bit too much last night.
Even though you said multiple times before today that you be the one to take him, you ended up pushing your responsibilities back onto me.
Is Joshua upset with me?
He told me that you're a liar and all that. But now that we're here, he's too invested in the event to give a crap about what you did. Just a second ago, he was able to get an autograph from one of his favorite pro gamers.
Let's see, well that's alright then.
Nothing about this is alright though, Tim. You haven't done anything for your family. You haven't done anything for your family recently. And today, you were finally supposed to do something fun with your son after so long. You need to get a real hold of yourself there, Tim.
Well, yesterday night I had to go out for work.
Even though it seems like your coworker Mike goes out on his days off with his son.
Huh? Why'd you know about that?
Because I follow his wife's Instagram account.
Oh? Oh, it's because that guy really drinks as much alcohol as I do. And so a lot of my buds don't really ever invite him out to drink with us.
But in your case, it'd be better if you didn't drink as much like Mike. I'm happy that you put in a lot of effort at work for us, but I'd like it if you came home from work more often to spend time with us here. Joshua is still only in elementary school, and I'm working a job myself.
I'm really sorry about that. But my work has gotten a lot more busy recently.
And I understand that, but you and I are working full-time jobs. The both of us, so I don't think you have to push yourself that hard to make money. And in my case, I work from quite a lot in a year to make up for you taking it easy, and we only have one child to pay for. So working those long shifts like you do all the time isn't really necessary. Of course, the most important thing you should be thinking about is your family, Tim.
I guess I shouldn't be asking you to clean and take care of Joshua so much, huh?
So if you understand what I want from you, can you start making some more time to spend with Joshua when you get home and have days off? And even put an hour or so into cleaning.
Alright.
I'll be home later tonight with Joshua, so make us some garlic bread for dinner. You'll be home all day today, right?
I'm sorry, but tonight I won't need dinner.
What?
Actually, today I have a client from out of state coming here. Andy's asking me to go out to dinner with him.
Is that so?
I'm sorry! I'll make sure starting next week that I make more time for you and Joshua. Today I already made plans for this, so let me go tonight, please.
I understand, Tim. But only today, okay? The next time you have a day off, don't you dare make any plans for work.
Alright, thank you.
And Tim, you really are focusing on work far too much. I'm starting to really get a bit worried about all the time you spend with work and your coworkers.
I'm doing just fine for myself, so I don't need to worry.
I get that right now you feel fine, but we're not as young as we used to be. I want to make sure that you are caring for your body and mind as much as you are your job.
You have a good point there. Let me get a few more weeks of good work in, and then I'll start to really calm myself down a bit.
Yes, please do that. Well, have a good night tonight with that client at dinner.
And have a fun and safe time at that gaming event. Make sure you both don't stay out too late. Haley, I'm sorry.
Wait, what? Are you apologizing because you once again will be getting home late?
No, that's also one thing, but not what I'm apologizing about now. I'm talking about this week's 3-day weekend.
During the time that we're supposed to go on a small vacation?
Yeah. I don't think it'll be possible now.
What? Why? Your son is really looking forward to this trip.
I understand that, but something serious has come up.
What do you mean something serious? Is it serious enough to where you have to cancel your time on our family trip?
That's not it. And my parents are planning to get divorced here real soon.
What? Your mom and dad plan to? Even though they seem so close and happy together all this time.
Well, it started with something small a while back. What would you say? One of them happened to say that for the longest time they haven't really been happy married to the other. I think my mom said that, and then my dad followed up by agreeing with her. And so right now, things are really crazy there.
Really?
So that's why this weekend I'll be heading back to my parents' place. You could call it a family discussion on the divorce. I have to be there to facilitate all of it between those two.
I see. Well, if that's the case, then there's nothing you can do about it. But their divorce isn't 100% set in stone yet, right?
Yeah, but the two of them are thinking of being divorced. Of course, I don't want that for them, and I'd like to fix whatever's been making them both unhappy. This is the first time I've ever seen them so upset with one another, though. So I'm not sure what I'll be able to do. I guess I'll start by listening to both of their complaints, and then we can go from there.
Right. Do you think it'd be best for Joshua and I to come as well?
Nope. I don't want our son to listen to his grandparents fighting about divorce. And in the case of my mother, having you both there might only make things worse.
Well, that's another good point. Well, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. I'd like to be helpful in some way. And also, since it seems that things are really heated between them, maybe they should take some time away from one another to rest. If by any chance one of your parents want to come stay here for a little bit, I can clean up the guest bedroom for them.
Thank you. I was really looking forward to the vacation we had planned for this weekend, so I'm sorry. I just started to get back to thinking that we could all go out somewhere together as a family.
I had been thinking the same thing, but you should take care of your parents first. So don't worry about canceling this time. You haven't done anything wrong.
Thank you, Haley.
Are you going to be okay? Even though you're an adult now and moved out of their house, having them divorced has to be hard on you, right?
Well, yeah. They have been so close one another, so them wanting to split up all of a sudden is a shock to me. But now that I'm a parent, I can justify some of what they're saying. And if I was still a kid, I probably wouldn't be able to grasp anything they say. And when it comes to marriage, there can be any number of things that one doesn't like about the other. So I'll just have to wait and see what those two have to say.
Well, I guess this weekend I'll take Joshua to the park or something to play around. I had planned on taking your car for the vacation, but that'll be in use by you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll try my best this weekend to be back home as soon as I can.
Alright. Good luck trying to get your parents to stay together. It'd be nice if we could all stay together as one big happy family.
Right? When I get back, I'll make sure to apologize to Joshua.
Sounds good. I'll let him know that you have some work to attend to and that the trip this weekend will be canceled. Of course, I'm not sure how he'll react to that, though.
Again, thank you for doing that. Well, with that, I'll see you later.
Tim, how's it going over there? You went there yesterday, so I wanted to know if you found anything else out about the both of your parents.
Sorry, I forgot to message you about them sooner. Everything over here is going okay.
And what about you all talking about the divorce? How did that go?
Well, about that. Both my parents made up. I'm so sorry for getting the both of us all worried about them. They really had it out for one another at the time. But in the end, they both realized that they need each other. And right now, things are going just as normal. Those two really were meant for each other.
Right? They told me that the both of them are coming over right now to play with us.
What? They're going over there? My mum and dad?
Yep.
Oh, wait, you're lying about that, right?
No, I'm being very, very serious, Tim. What's wrong?
But my parents told me that this weekend they wouldn't be going out anywhere. Wait, what are you even talking about? I'm at their house right now. So why would they be going to you guys?
I want to know what the heck you've been talking about. You never went back to your parents' place, right? And your parents don't seem to be on edge with one another by any means. So they couldn't possibly have been talking about getting a divorce just a day ago, right?
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm saying that we know you've been lying to us.
Lying to you guys about what?
You said that the reason you canceled our family vacation this weekend was because your parents were planning on getting a divorce, right? Well, that just doesn't seem to have ever been the problem. You're on vacation with another woman that I don't know.
I have zero clue what you're trying to get at.
Listen, the moment that you texted me about having to cancel on our vacation plans, I got another message from your mom. She'd asked if it'd be okay to come over to our house to hang out and see Joshua.
What?
I then went ahead and asked her why'd she want to come over here when she was in the middle of dealing with wanting a divorce. But then she acted as though she had no idea what I was talking about. So when I asked her the simple question of it, she wanted to divorce your dad or not, she told me she's never thought about doing that to him. And so that's when I began to realize that you've been lying to me. That would make for quite an odd conundrum, right?
If they had planned to come to our house today, why didn't my mum frickin' tell me? Does this mean that you're the one lying to me right now?
Well, you and your mom never talk to one another, right? She said that any time she tries to text you, you never read her text. So that's why it came down to me having to tell you.
But those two told me that they'll be staying at home this weekend.
That's because you were thinking of doing something unnecessary. Maybe had you actually told them you wanted to come see them at their house, they would have stayed there for you. Also, that car you're in right now has GPS in it. So don't think that you can keep acting as though you're at their house now.
A GPS? You're kidding, right?
Well, I had planned to use that car for a trip, and so I was working on using a GPS to installed in that car.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Haley. But I promise that right now I'm going on a solo vacation. There's not even a single woman around me right now. Not a single person, actually. I had just been waiting to go on a solo road trip for a little while now.
Oh, do you think that I'm only using that GPS as a way of knowing what's going on there?
You're nuts?
The GPS in the car ended up stopping at a resort out there, so I'm on my way now to see what's going on. I plan to come see the place you've taken your secret woman.
Huh?
My brother was kind enough to give me his car, so I'm on my way to stay there as well. You're there right now, correct? At the Sleepy Breeze Resort and Spa? Well, that's where I plan to stay tonight as well. I assume you guys got the suite. I'll make sure to pay you a visit on the way to my room. And don't worry about Joshua, because I left him with your parents to be watched back at our house. So this will give us a lot of time to just sit back and talk about all this without having to be too hurried. We'll be talking about our divorce. Tim, since then I've had a lot to think about, and I've chosen in the end to divorce you. And in the next coming days, I'd like to talk to one another about our financial business, so please let me know when you're available.
I don't want to. Please stop talking and thinking about divorce.
Well, you don't have the right to tell me you do or don't anymore.
I told you all about what happened, right? I showed you the messages between me and that woman I was with. So there's nothing else that I'm hiding from you now, Haley. And when it comes to that woman, I'll no longer be seeing her again.
And the thing is that I don't plan to forgive you for any of that, hence me wanting the divorce. We have Joshua though, so I couldn't just make a decision on the spot. But you never really cared about us as your family anyway, so the choice was made simple. I've finally gotten to see the reason why that was. And now there can be an end to all this.
But I don't want to get a divorce, that's why I told you everything.
And so what, Tim?
I did all of this for you. So why can't you see past getting a divorce? I made sure to choose you and Joshua as the most important people to me.
And? No matter who you chose in the end has no relation to what you've done.
I get that. I get that you can see it that way, but I don't want this. I don't want to get a divorce.
And I didn't want to get a divorce either. But you ended up cheating on me with a younger woman, and that's why things have changed. This was all due to you being selfish, and now you think you can change the way you'll act?
When you bring up me cheating, just remember that I only saw it as having a little fun is all.
Yet when I spoke with your woman, she didn't seem to see it that way. She told me that she'd been wanting for you to divorce me so the two of you could get married. She told me that while crying, right?
But to me, the most important are you and Joshua.
You're saying that we are both so important that you cheat on me and ruin plans with your son for her? I'm sure that if you had at least chosen to spend more time with us while you still had a few one-night stands with her, I wouldn't be choosing to divorce you right now. But that wasn't the case, was it? For the past 6 months, you chose to spend all your time with her, even canceling plans to be with your wife and son for her.
And I'm very sorry about all that.
And also, you tell her that you wanted to hurry up and be your husband all the time in your guys' texts. So for a while now, you've been wanting to get rid of Joshua and I.
I'm telling you, that's not the case. I just wrote all that to her so that things would be more hot between us.
So you had been lying to her about your true feelings as well.
Well, yeah, I was. I think that's what ended up happening in the end.
You're a terrible man. You had been faking wanting to marry her, right?
Huh?
You had no plans of wanting to marry her, yet you promised her you would. That's what you mean?
Haley, does any of that really have anything to do with what's happening between us here? You should know by now that I chose to be with you, right?
No, this is all very important to talk about. Because right now, it's not just me here texting you. Your little lovebird Hannah's sitting with me as well, watching my phone screen.
What?
You told me at the resort that you'd been breaking up with her on that day. Yet I know you never did end up saying goodbye to her, did you? You told me that you both broke up and everything, but when I talked with Hannah about you, she said you've been working to get a divorce from me soon. Tim, how long are you going to keep fooling around with Hannah and I like this for?
What? Why are you and Hannah together?
Back when we were talking at the resort, you got on your hands and knees to apologize to me, right? You showed me all your guys' messages and told me she was just for fun. And at that moment, I was pretty much over you. And Hannah was in the same boat as me. Finish with your crap. But I can understand why she would be too, considering you had promised to marry her soon. Yet you were at my feet apologizing to me for everything.
She's gonna try and make you hate me! She's pissed now because I chose you guys over her! She's trying to break our family apart now!
The only one that broke our family was you, Tim. Also, Hannah was kind enough to record your guys' conversation these past few days.
What?
So no matter what you try and say, it's useless. I'm going to have you pay me a settlement for cheating on me, as well as pay for child support until Joshua turns 18. And I'd like you to pay Hannah for lying to her about getting married all this time.
Hold on a second. I really do want to go back to living with you and Joshua.
You're just trying to avoid your responsibility for cheating on me and having to pay the settlement by saying that, aren't you? Both Hannah and I were lied to by you on multiple occasions, and we're going to make sure you pay for that. So you stop all this bullcrap and take responsibility for the actions you made.
Haley, I'm so freaking sorry! I promise that I'll never even talk to Hannah again after this. And then there'll be no more of this cheating business. So please, in some way, try to believe me.
That's all right, Tim. Hannah doesn't want to see you anymore either, and neither do I. I can no longer trust the man that ruined all that family time he could have spent with his wife and son to sleep with another woman. The next time you and I see one another, you'll be signing the divorce papers whether you want to or not.
Wait! Shouldn't we talk more about all this? We have to also think about what Joshua wants. He can't just divorce me and take his only father figure away.
Please don't be worried about any of that. Everyone around me is saying that divorcing you is the right choice. And as far as I can tell, there's not one single person rooting for us to stay together. After that, my husband and I began to talk about the divorce in person, and his parents joined us as well to talk, but not a single person was his friend during all of that. Tim tried to continue using the fact that we had Joshua to care for as a reason to not divorce, but neither me nor either of our parents were happy to keep hearing that and soon voiced their opinions very angrily. Tim wasn't able to make any further arguments to them, and so he was forced into signing the documents. And because of my parents and his being there, I was able to get the settlement I had hoped for made up by the lawyer. Also, I was able to get the amount of money I wanted from a secret woman, Hannah, as well. Of course, cheating on me was never going to be forgiven, and so even though Hannah was hurt by Tim as well, I couldn't go easy on her. But of course, the main problem at the base of all this was Tim, and so I still trust her in some ways. After all, if it was Hannah that teamed up with me to show me the recordings she had of their conversations and ultimately helped me divorce Tim. And Tim and Hannah were co-workers within the same company, and so news of those two spread quickly, while Hannah leaving her position there soon after. In Tim's case, he still has to pay for child support as well as pay off the borrowed money he took for the settlement, so he can't leave his job there. Until all the news surrounding him begins to settle down, we'll just have to hang on tight. As for my son and I, we are now starting our new lives in a whole new world. When I explained to him that Tim would no longer be around, he came up to me and hugged me, saying that he'd stay with me to protect me. Those were the nicest words I had ever heard from anyone, and it warmed my heart so much. I suppose even though he's a 4th grader still, he understands a lot more about marriage than ever I thought. I'm so happy that I'll be able to love him even more now without the complications of Tim getting involved. But at the same time, I do worry that I might not be able to do all this on my own. I'm still a bit shocked by all that ended up happening, but as long as I take my time to rest and recover, things in my family will remain warm and cared for. And to make sure I have the time to myself to heal, my parents and even Tim's parents come every weekend to help care for Joshua and keep him entertained. I'll make sure that to never let my boy deal with anyone breaking his heart again like his father did, that someone is always here to love him and keep their promises. This is the life I want to keep for my son and I, and nothing is going to get in the way of that anymore. And to make sure that he grows up into the kind man I know he can be, I'll make sure to always treat him with respect and love he deserves.